Before we start, I want to ask you something, and I want your honest answer in the comments.
Have you ever made a decision, a completely personal decision about your own life, and then spent hours, days, sometimes weeks, explaining and justifying it to other people?
Write yes in the comments if this has happened to you, because today we are going to talk about why you do this and why you need to stop.
Picture this. You decide to leave a job, or change a plan, or say no to something, or make a choice that is completely yours to make.
And immediately the questions start. Why? Are you sure? But what about? Have you thought about?
And instead of simply saying, "This is my decision," you start explaining. You defend yourself. You justify. You provide reasons. You seek approval.
And even after all the explaining, you still feel uneasy, like you haven't quite convinced them, like you need to say more.
But here is the truth nobody tells you. You were never required to explain in the first place.
Your decisions about your own life do not require a defense. They do not require an audience. They do not require approval.
Today, we teach you why. And we give you the exact English phrases to handle every situation, confidently, warmly, and without over-explaining a single thing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English naturally and confidently through real, honest conversations.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria. So happy you're here with us today.
This episode is for B1 to B2 learners, intermediate to upper intermediate level English.
How are you feeling today, John?
Honestly, free. Because this topic, I have been living it recently. And it has changed something important for me.
Same. And I think our listeners will feel the same by the end of this episode.
Before we start, thank you. Really, thank you for being here today.
Let's go. Okay, let me ask you something. When was the last time you said no to something without explaining why?
That's a hard question. Because most of us, we never just say no. We say no and then immediately say, because I have this thing. Because I'm not feeling well. Because I already have plans. Because I need to.
We pad the no. We cushion it. We wrap it in reasons and apologies.
Pad means to add extra material to make something softer, or longer, or more comfortable.
And we do the same with every decision. We don't just make a choice, we present it to an invisible jury. And we argue our case.
Jury means a group of people who decide whether something is right or wrong. In a courtroom.
And most of us, we have been living our lives as if we are constantly on trial, constantly having to prove that our choices are correct.
And the exhausting part is that the jury never actually delivers a verdict. There is always one more question, one more doubt, one more person to convince.
Because the problem was never the explanation. The problem was the belief that one was needed.
Today, we dismantle that belief. Dismantle means to take something apart, to remove it piece by piece.
And we replace it with something much more powerful. The quiet confidence of someone who knows their life is theirs, and their choices need no defense.
Maybe this is you. You make a decision. And immediately you start explaining. To everyone. Even people who didn't ask.
Today, that changes.
Okay, let's start with why. Because over-explaining, it doesn't come from weakness. It comes from something very human.
Most people over-explain because of one core need. The need to be understood.
You make a decision, and you want the people around you to understand why. To see your reasoning. To agree that it makes sense.
And this need, it comes from love. Sometimes. Or from fear. Or from a deep-seated habit of seeking approval.
Deep-seated means something that has existed for a long time. That is firmly established inside you.
And here is what over-explaining actually communicates, even when you don't mean it to.
What does it communicate?
It communicates doubt. When you over-explain a decision, you signal to the other person, I'm not fully confident in this. I need you to agree with me so I can feel sure.
And people sense that. They sense the uncertainty beneath the explanation.
And sometimes they start questioning too. Not because the decision was wrong, but because your energy around it invited questioning.
So your over-explanation, it actually creates the doubt you were trying to prevent.
Yes, the more you explain, the more questions come. Because the explanation itself signals there is something here that needs defending.
And a decision that needs defending, it looks like a weak decision, even if it isn't.
Confident people make decisions and state them. Simply, clearly, without a lengthy defense.
And other people respect those decisions more, not less.
Let me give you a simple example. Person A says, I've decided to leave my job. I know it might seem sudden, but I've been unhappy for a while and I think this is the right move for me. And I know there will be challenges, but I really feel like.
And they keep going. For 5 minutes.
Person B says, I've decided to leave my job. I'm excited about what comes next.
Full stop. That's it.
Who sounds more confident?
Person B. Without question.
Same decision, same situation, completely different energy.
And the energy of your words, it shapes how people receive your choices.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You explained something extensively, and the more you explained, the more uncertain you felt.
That uncertainty was created by the over-explanation itself, not by the decision.
Okay, let's get specific. 3 situations where over-explaining happens most, and what to do instead.
Situation 1. Saying no.
This is the most common one. Someone asks you for something. You don't want to do it. Or you can't. Or you simply choose not to.
And instead of just saying no, you construct an elaborate explanation. I would love to, but I have this thing. And also, my schedule is complicated, and I've been really tired, and
the other person? They didn't need all of that. They just needed an answer.
And your elaborate explanation, it actually draws more attention to the no. It makes it feel like a bigger deal than it is.
So, what do you say instead?
Simply, I won't be able to make it, but thank you for thinking of me.
Or, that doesn't work for me right now.
Or even just, I'm going to pass on this one.
These are complete sentences. They are polite. They are warm. And they require no defense.
Situation 2. Making a life decision that others might question.
changing careers, moving cities, ending a relationship, starting something new. These are deeply personal choices.
And yet, we announce them to the world, and then wait anxiously for the world's verdict.
Instead, you can simply say, I've made a decision that feels right for me. I'm happy about it.
And if people push, if they ask, but why? You can say, I've thought about it carefully. I'm confident in this direction.
Notice, you are not refusing to communicate. You are communicating with confidence, without defensiveness, without a lengthy case.
Situation 3. Being different from what people expect.
You don't drink, or you follow a different diet, or you have unconventional values, or you make choices that don't match the norm around you.
And people ask, why don't you drink? Why do you eat like that? Why do you think that way?
And you feel like you need to justify your entire lifestyle, your entire belief system, to every person who asks.
But you don't.
You can simply say, it's just what works for me. Or, it's a personal choice. And leave it there.
It's just what works for me. This phrase is extraordinary because it is completely true. It answers the question. And it closes the conversation without being rude.
Maybe you know this feeling too. Someone asked why you made a certain choice, and you found yourself explaining for much longer than necessary.
The explanation was never required. You just didn't know what to say instead.
Now you do.
Okay, let's talk about what over-explaining actually costs you. Because it costs more than most people realize.
Cost 1. It costs you time and energy.
Every over-explanation is time you spend defending something that didn't need defending. Time you could have spent doing the thing you decided to do.
Some people spend more energy explaining their decisions than actually living them.
And that energy, it is finite. Finite means limited, not unlimited.
You have a certain amount of energy every day. Every explanation spends some of it. Every justification uses some more.
And at the end of the day, you have less energy for the things that actually matter.
Cost 2. It costs you authority over your own life.
Authority means power, control, the right to make decisions.
When you constantly explain your choices to others, you are implicitly asking for their permission, or their approval, or their agreement.
And when you do that, you hand authority over your life to whoever you're explaining to.
You are saying, your opinion of my decision matters more than my own judgment. And most people, they are not qualified to judge your life decisions. They don't have your full information, your history, your values, your goals.
Only you have that.
Only you. Cost 3. It costs you respect.
This is the paradox. Most people over-explain because they want to be respected. They want others to understand and approve of them.
But over-explaining, it actually reduces respect, not increases it.
Because confident people don't defend themselves unnecessarily. And confidence, it commands respect.
Commands means naturally receives, without asking.
When you explain without being asked, you signal insecurity. And insecurity does not command respect.
When you state your decision clearly and move forward, you signal confidence. And confidence commands respect.
Simple, but powerful.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You explained something thoroughly, and instead of feeling respected afterward, you felt smaller.
The explanation was the cause, not the solution. Okay, real phrases now. The exact English you can use when you feel the urge to over-explain.
Category 1. Saying no without explaining.
That doesn't work for me, but thank you.
I'm going to pass on this one.
I won't be able to. I appreciate you asking, though.
That's not something I can do right now.
Notice, all of these are complete. None of them invite follow-up questions. None of them open a defense.
Category 2. Stating a decision without defending it.
I've thought about this carefully, and I'm moving forward.
This is the direction I'm going. I'm confident it's right for me.
I've made my decision. I'm excited about what's next.
These phrases signal the decision is made. It is not up for debate. And I am at peace with it.
Category 3. Responding when people push for more explanation.
I appreciate your concern, but I'm comfortable with this decision.
I've considered it from all angles. I'm good.
I know it might seem unexpected, but this feels right for me.
Category 4. Handling intrusive personal questions.
That's something I prefer to keep private.
I'd rather not go into detail, but I appreciate you asking.
It's a personal thing. I hope you understand.
Category 5. The most powerful phrase in this entire category.
What is it?
Because it's what I want to do.
So simple.
So simple and completely sufficient. Why are you doing this? Because it's what I want to do. Full stop.
You don't owe anyone more than that. For personal decisions about your own life, because it's what I want to do, is a complete answer.
Maybe you know this feeling too. Someone asked why you were doing something, and you felt the answer, because I want to wasn't enough.
It is enough. It has always been enough.
Can I share something that I used to do and had to work very hard to stop?
Please.
I used to explain everything, every decision, every choice, every change of plan, every time I said no, every time I did something differently.
Why?
Because somewhere inside, I believed that if I didn't explain, people would think badly of me. That unexplained decisions were suspicious decisions.
And what changed?
I noticed something. The people I respected most, the people I found most impressive and confident, they almost never explained themselves unless directly asked. And even then, briefly.
They just lived their lives, made their choices, moved forward.
And nobody questioned them, not because people were afraid of them, but because their confidence made questioning feel unnecessary.
Their energy said, "This is decided. I am at peace. There is nothing to argue about here."
And I realized the over-explanation was not protecting me. It was exposing me. It was showing everyone exactly where my doubts lived.
And when you stop over-explaining, something remarkable happens.
What?
You start to feel more certain about your own decisions because you stop constantly re-examining them in front of other people.
Yes. When you explain a decision 10 times, you think about it 10 times. You doubt it 10 times. You revisit every possible criticism 10 times.
But when you make a decision and simply move forward, you invest your energy in making it work, not in defending it.
And decisions you invest in, they work better. Not because they were better decisions, but because you put your energy into them instead of into defending them.
Remember this. Your life does not need a defense. It needs your full attention. Stop defending. Start living.
Say it again.
Your life does not need a defense. It needs your full attention. Stop defending. Start living.
Stop defending. Start living.
Okay, everyone. Let's slow down now. Word tour time.
Key words from today. Say them with us.
Word 1. Justify. This means to give reasons for something to show it is right or acceptable. Example 1. She felt she had to justify every decision she made, and it was exhausting. Example 2. You don't have to justify personal choices to people who have no role in your life.
Stop justifying. Start deciding. The decision is enough without a case built around it.
Word 2. Deep-seated. This means firmly established over a long time, existing at a fundamental level. Example 1. Her deep-seated need for approval made her over-explain everything. Example 2. Changing deep-seated habits takes time, but awareness is always the first step.
Recognize your deep-seated patterns. Not to judge them, but to change the ones that cost you.
Word 3. Finite. This means limited, having an end, not unlimited. Example 1. Your energy is finite. Spend it on things that matter, not on unnecessary explanations. Example 2. Time is finite. The most successful people protect it fiercely.
Energy is finite. Time is finite. Choose carefully what you spend them on.
Word 4. Authority. This means power and the right to make decisions. Control over something. Example 1. Over-explaining gives authority over your life to whoever you're explaining to. Example 2. Reclaim your authority. Your life decisions are yours alone.
Reclaim your authority over your own life, over your own choices. It was always yours. Stop giving it away.
Word 5. Commands. In this context, naturally receives without asking. Example 1. Confidence commands respect. You don't have to ask for it. Example 2. Calmness in difficult situations commands attention and trust.
Command respect through confidence, not through explanation. Confidence speaks louder than any defense.
Word 6. Paradox. This means something that seems contradictory but is actually true. Example 1. The paradox of over-explaining is that it creates the doubt it tries to prevent. Example 2. The paradox of privacy is that sharing less often creates more connection with the right people.
Remember the paradox. The more you explain, the more doubt you invite. The less you explain, the more confidence you project.
Word 7. Dismantle. This means to take something apart, to remove it completely. Example 1. She slowly dismantled her habit of over-explaining, one conversation at a time. Example 2. Dismantling a belief starts with recognizing it exists.
Dismantle the beliefs that cost you. One small conversation at a time. One decision stated simply. One no without a paragraph.
Word 8. Implicitly. This means suggested or communicated without being directly stated. Example 1. When you over-explain, you implicitly ask for permission, even if you don't mean to. Example 2. Body language communicates implicitly. Your posture says something before your words do.
Be aware of what you communicate implicitly. Sometimes, the energy behind your words matters more than the words themselves. Okay, one thing to practice this week.
This week, say no once, without explaining why.
Just once. To one person. One situation.
Someone asks you for something. You don't want to do it. And you say,
That doesn't work for me, but thank you.
and then stop. Don't add anything. Don't pad it. Don't follow up with reasons.
Just let the sentence be complete.
And notice how it feels. Because the first time, it will feel uncomfortable. It will feel rude.
It is not rude. It is complete.
And here is your sentence template for today.
I've thought about this, and I'm going with underscore, 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 underscore. I'm confident it's the right direction for me.
Say it now. Out loud.
I've thought about this, and I'm going with underscore, 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 underscore. I'm confident it's the right direction for me.
Fill in any real decision you've made recently and say it with confidence.
No apology, no defense, no padding.
Just a decision. Stated clearly by someone who trusts themselves.
Okay, comment challenge time.
This week's question, and we genuinely want to read your answers.
Is there a decision in your life right now that you keep over-explaining to people? Write it in the comments using this sentence.
I keep explaining underscore, underscore, underscore to people, but actually, I don't need to. My decision is underscore, underscore, underscore. And that is enough.
Write it. In English. In the comments. Right now.
Because writing it with that ending, and that is enough, it is one of the most liberating things you will do today.
We read every single comment. Every one. And today, we want to celebrate your decisions with you.
If this episode gave you something, please give it a like. It really helps more people find us.
And subscribe to Speak Unstoppable if you haven't yet. New episodes every day, real conversations, real English, real life.
Thank you for being here today.
Your life does not need a defense.
It needs your full attention.
Stop defending.
Start living.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.